The Philadelphia Eagles completely dominate the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC Championship game and advance to the Super Bowl. What does that mean for the Cowboys? Well, the Cowboys got some problems, and I'm going to talk to you about that and more in this video. But before I do, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow Boss Cowboy Sports on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can follow me, the OC100, on Twitter. All right, so the Cowboys got some problems, and it really broke my heart to see how the Philadelphia Eagles completely tore apart and broke the wheel and dominated the San Francisco 49ers, a team who we lost to last week in San Francisco. And it brings up a lot of questions about the future. What does this mean for the Cowboys? I'm going to get into that. But before I really deliberate into those things, the fans, guys, and me in particular, I'm just sick of the Cowboys not winning big games. Are the Cowboys a bad team? No. Are the Cowboys a great team? No. Are the Cowboys a good team? Yes. But in today's NFL, good is not good enough. And I'm telling you, the Philadelphia Eagles just proved that today. They are a juggernaut. They are physically superior, they're coached well, and they execute to win the big games. So the Cowboys have problems to solve, and it's serious changes that need to take place ahead. Let's start with the positive. Micah Parsons is a phenomenal player. He has 96 pressures this year. He's had 2 years, 13 plus sacks, 2 Pro Bowls. CeeDee Lamb, offensive talent, tore up the league this year, Pro Bowl receiver, did a fantastic job for us. Salute CeeDee Lamb. But I'm going to tell you, having 2 players is not good enough. What the Philadelphia Eagles did versus what the Dallas Cowboys have done over the last couple years, they have out-scouted us, they have out-hustled us, and they have just flat out made better personnel decisions than the Dallas Cowboys. And that is what is concerning me, and that I'm going to really take a nosedive into in this video. The Cowboys could have done several things that the Philadelphia Eagles did do, all right? And I'm going to walk you through that just real quick, all right? Me and Boss Cowboy, every single year, we have draft shows. That Boss Cowboy normally writes a draft book, all right? Breaking down his picks and all those things. I'm not sure how that's going to go this year. But Milton out of La Tech, they picked up. And he's done a fantastic job for the Philadelphia Eagles. That was on the defensive line. He's been great. All right. They signed Ndamukong Suh. When we were struggling in the run game, we did a good job in signing Hankins, but we also could have picked up Ndamukong Suh. The Eagles picked up Ndamukong Suh. Also, we could have signed A.J. Brown. We could have signed A.J. Brown. Guess what the Eagles do? They go and they sign A.J. Brown. And what enables them to do that, and this is why the Cowboys window is a 2-year window, and I'm going to explain that in depth as I go. It's a 2-year, very, very short window to have a legitimate chance to get into the Super Bowl game, because you can make picks and pick up players like A.J. Brown when you have Jalen Hurts on a rookie contract where basically you're only paying him $6 million on a 4-year deal. That's pretty much what it is. So you can go out and you can get other players, and you got room to play because you have Jalen Hurts on a really, really cheap rookie deal. But something else super smart that they did, just in case Jalen Hurts struggled, and we also could have got him, which I think we all would agree would be a better backup quarterback than we have. They also could have got Gardner Minshew. They got Gardner Minshew from the Jags, who did a fantastic job for them when Jalen Hurts was hurt. Also, another guy I was high on a couple years back, coming out of Alabama, he could have got picked up by us. He tore his ACL, all-world center/guard out of Alabama. His name is Landon Dickerson. He has anchored the line for the Philadelphia Eagles on the inside from the left guard position. He got hurt late in the game today, but he's done an overall fantastic job for them. So those are some examples on how we actually have got outmaneuvered and out hustled by a division rival that we came into the season, to be honest, with our chest poked out. Ha 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 ha. We're going to dominate. Ha 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 ha. We're going to dominate. We're going to win the East. Well, Eagles who? That's right. Eagles who? Eagles are in the Super Bowl. We are watching at home. So these are a few things that concern the OC. So we have done some things in an okay fashion, bargain shopping. We have. But at the same time, guys, we got to get better. We got to handle and we got to do some things that will really help us out. And I'm going to get into a couple uncomfortable things. Actually, I'm going to get into about 5 or 6 uncomfortable things in the rest of this video, just to break it down and let you guys know the real deal and the direction that the Cowboys need to go. Because as I've said before, good is not good enough. Good is not good enough. You got to get great to win a Super Bowl. You got to be great. And this is how the Cowboys get great. Because, see, we talk about the salary cap management and the finagling and the discounting and the good decisions we've made. I'm going to challenge that. I'm going to say we haven't made quite as good decisions as some people might think. We have not managed this thing financially in a way that a lot of people would give us credit for, but I'm going to expose the truth today because we haven't truly managed this thing the way that we really need to manage this thing. All right? Because at the end of the day, we haven't won big games. Our quarterback hadn't showed up and played great in the biggest games. No shade on Dak, just the truth. We don't have the depth, and then we're dealing with Kellen Moore. So I'm going to say, number one, you got Tank Lawrence's contract. Tank Lawrence counts $26 million in 2023 against the cap. Yes, he had a good year. Yes, he had 56 pressures. He had the most amount of pressures that he's had since 2018. Salute to him for that. However, Tank Lawrence only gives you 6 sacks in a season. All right. Tank Lawrence is 31 years old. Okay. So is he worth $26 million at 31 years old? You answer that question in the chat below. What do you think? Now, more than likely, the Cowboys got to keep him because of guaranteed money. They're not going to cut him because if they cut him, listen, he counts 11.3% against the salary cap. They owe him $26 million. Okay. So if they cut him, look, he'll account for a dead cap of $35 million, which means this, that they'll lose $9 million. They can't cut Tank Lawrence. Tank Lawrence, unless you trade him to a team that has a lot of cap space, aka a team like the Bears, and you give up picks or something like that, you're not going to get rid of Tank Lawrence. No shade on Tank Lawrence. This is a straight business report. No shade on him whatsoever. This is just the reality of the situation. So you lose $9 million if you do try to cut it. Are you going to do that? No, you're not going to do that. And listen, I'm telling you guys, you got to have a way to create more cap space. DeMarcus Lawrence hasn't given you more than 10 sacks since 2018. You got Sam Williams, you got some other guys that you really could plug in or draft for or trade for to give you more productivity there. So listen, between Dak Prescott, who will be paid $49 million this coming season, all right, and Dak has a no trade clause and he has a contract. His contract is what it is, all right? But you're paying 2 guys $75 million, Dak and Tank Lawrence. Number 3 or 2. And that's my guy. And there's no shade on him. He's had a fantastic career. I think he's a yellow jacket guy. But you got Tyron Smith. Tyron Smith. He may get cut this year. If he gets cut, okay, the Dallas Cowboys will save $9 million. You need to figure out how to save so that you can make some moves. And I'm telling you, look, no shade on my guy, man. Hey, much respect to him in his career, to his family. But at the end of the day, he hasn't played a full season in 7 years. He hadn't played a full season in 7 years. As a matter of fact, since the beginning of the 2020 season, T. Smith has played in a total of 17 games. So ask yourself, what would you do? All right. So moving on, he turns 33 next year. He's been in the league since he was 20 years old. That's a long, beautiful career. Something has to be worked out there. And then here's another thing, something that I hate to even say, I hate to discuss, because I love him. I'm a fan of him. I think he's fantastic. But you got the Zeke contract, and the Zeke contract was not a good contract. That's number 4. All right. So if you look and you really pay attention to this thing, you got to understand a couple key things. All right. So Zeke Elliott is not the same. He's not the same running back as he was. It's just honest. He's had some injuries. He has a lot of tread on the tire. He was great for us for several years, but he's not the same guy that he was. All right. Zeke Elliott has averaged 3.8 yards a carry this year. And it was been 6 games, okay, this season that he averaged less than 3 yards a carry. Yes, he's a great finisher. Yes, he's good in tight distances. I think he's good on the goal line. But if you look at the guy's contract, look, he has $11.8 million coming to him as a dead cap, in 2023. He has a cap hit of $16.7 million. So the Cowboys would save $5 million. $5 million by cutting Ezekiel Elliott. He's had no 100-yard games this year. All right. So you put in the chat below and tell the OC, what would you do? What would you do in this situation? That's what I want to know. What would you do? Now, and this is something that a lot of us haven't even talked about, that we should pay more attention to, that I'm glad he took the money. I'm glad he got his money, but I'm not so sure about it, being that he tore that ACL. I may have had a wait and see year with this guy, and that's Michael Gallup. Yeah, Michael Gallup. Now, we all hope, and I salute him for coming back and doing everything he can to try to contribute to this team. But this year, he wasn't the same guy. And we hope that he's better and he plays better and he does what he has to do and come back a lot stronger this year. But more than likely, he's going to be a Dallas Cowboy. And I'll tell you why. Michael Gallup has a $13.8 million cap hit and a dead cap of $19 million. Okay, let me translate that. That means if you cut him, you lose $5 million. So you're not cutting Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup is going to be a Cowboy, barring, again, a trade to somebody that has a lot of cap space, aka the Bears, or some type of draft pick combination of some sort and package deal in which you would let him go. All right. I wish they would try to get in Diggs. If he has any problems up there with the Buffalo Bills, do a sign and trade with Diggs or something like that. Get us some more experience and explosion, because to boot, you got several things coming down the pike. And this is why we have a 2-year window. Let me get to that part. You got Micah Parsons playing great on a rookie deal. You got CeeDee Lamb playing great on a rookie deal. When you got talented people playing good on rookie deals that can help your team really advance, that's when you go all in. Because coming up in the next couple of years, guess who you got to pay? Oh, you guessed it. You got to pay Micah Parsons. Oh, guess who else you got to pay? You got to pay CeeDee Lamb. And those guys are going to command $25 to $30 million per year if you're going to keep their services here in Dallas. And that's what blows up Super Bowl opportunities, is having huge mega contracts. Let me continue along this train of thought for your consideration. You now also have Zach Martin. I'm not calling Zach Martin a bad contract. I'm a fan of Zach Martin. Although he is aging, he's still a Pro Bowl player 3 out of the last 4 years. He's still doing a very, very good job. But is he the same as he was? No. Is he aging? Absolutely yes. Does he still have, to me, probably 2 prime years left in his body where he can make a Pro Bowl, be elite guy if he takes care of himself? Yeah, in my opinion. Absolutely, yeah. But this is a part of the business of the NFL. Guess how much you owe Zach Martin the next year, which is why the OC said earlier this year, Zach is slowing down a little bit. I said that last year. So did Boss Cowboy, last year and this year. You owe Zach Martin $19 million. How you like those apples? $19 million. You owe him $19 million. So let's go ahead and do a brief calculation. So you got Dak Prescott. Okay. Now you have Tank Lawrence. Now you have Zach Martin. So between those guys, Dak, $49 million, Tank, $26 million, Zach Martin, $19 million. Then you have a total of $94 million wrapped up in 3 players. Dak, Tank, Zach Martin, $94 million in 2023. Question, what would you do? Now, Also, you got Tony Pollard coming up. You just got burned because you overpaid on a running back being Zeke Elliott. And it really wasn't a bad signing, but I'm going to tell you what made it a bad signing with Zeke Elliott. It's because he signed his contract, he signed his extension in 2019, but it didn't kick in until 2021. So irresponsible. So irresponsible. Why would you sign that man to an extension that didn't kick in until 2021? Because running backs fall off. Look at Alvin Kamara. Okay? Look at Delvin Cook. All right? Look at Leonard Fournette. You have running backs, you sign them to big deals, they fall off the next year because that's the nature of the beast, and nobody knows when the linchpin, the grenade of a slowed running back is going to kick in after they've been played past 3 or 4 years and they've taken punishment and a lot of carries. Nobody can accurately predict that whatsoever. So, I'm telling you guys, pay attention. Will they pay Tony Pollard? I don't know. You might need to blow everything up. You might need to start all over. And also, now you got Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz, you paid him on a franchise tag, $11 million this year, which you shouldn't have done. You just shouldn't have done. He caught for 577 yards and 5 touchdowns. You let me know if that's worth $11 million. You let me know. I don't think so. I think you cut him. You're not going to re-sign him. If you do, you're bananas. You rock with Hendershot, you rock with Drake Ferguson. You've seen enough to let you know that these guys can get the job done, and you draft, or you bring in somebody else free agency for more depth. That's what you do. I can keep going, guys. I can keep going another 30 minutes, but I'm going to stop right there. The Cowboys got problems, and we got to address them right now. Let me know what you think about the video in your comments below. Follow Boss Cowboy Sports on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Follow me, the OC100 on Twitter. And until next time, see you.